She started with a simple idea from her mom's living room. She faced rejection from over 100 investors. She was told her dream was too big and impossible. And yet, she built one of the world's most valuable software companies, helping millions of people create beautiful designs. This is a young woman who saw a problem that frustrated millions and decided to solve it. She had no rich family or powerful connections, just a big vision and the courage to keep going no matter how many people said no. How did a university student from Australia take on the giant software companies and win? Her journey is full of valuable lessons about believing in your idea when no one else does, and you won't want to miss the smart way she got her foot in the door. Melanie Perkins' story begins in Perth, Australia. She was a university student, teaching other students how to use complex design programs like Adobe Photoshop and InDesign. She saw firsthand how difficult and confusing these programs were for beginners. Students would spend entire semesters just trying to learn where the buttons were, instead of actually being creative. This frustration planted a seed in her mind. She thought, what if design software could be as easy as dragging and dropping? What if it was all online, so you didn't have to install anything? What if it was so simple that anyone could create something beautiful in minutes? At the time, this seemed like a crazy idea. The big software companies dominated the market, and everyone thought their complicated tools were just the way things had to be. But Melanie believed there was a better way. She didn't have a technical background, but she had a clear vision. She started working on her idea with her co-founder and now husband, Cliff Obrecht. They began not with a massive company, but with a simple online tool for creating school yearbooks. They called it Fusion Books. This first business, Fusion Books, was their training ground. Melanie and Cliff ran the entire operation from her mother's living room. They were doing everything themselves, talking to schools, designing the yearbooks, managing the website, and handling customer service. It was a lot of hard work, but it was also a huge success in Australia. It proved that people loved a simpler way to design. More importantly, it proved that Melanie's big idea had potential. Fusion Books showed them that if people loved a simple tool for yearbooks, they would probably love a simple tool for everything: presentations, social media posts, posters, and more. This success gave Melanie the confidence to think much bigger. She decided it was time to build a single platform that could make the whole world design easily. She decided to call this dream Canva. Now came the hardest part. To build Canva, they needed money, a lot of it. They needed to hire engineers and build a complex product. So Melanie started the long and difficult process of asking investors for funding. This period was a very difficult test of her belief. For 3 years, she faced rejection after rejection. She heard the word no more than 100 times. Investors gave many reasons for turning her down. Some said the market was too crowded with big players. Others thought Melanie, a young woman without a technical degree, wasn't the right person to build a tech company. One famous investor even told her to come back when she had more experience, basically saying she didn't know what she was doing. It was a deeply lonely and challenging time. Most people would have given up after a dozen rejections. But Melanie and Cliff kept their dream alive any way they could. They lived very cheaply, and Cliff even took a job as a part-time dog walker to help pay the bills while they kept working on their plan. Melanie knew she had to change her approach. Instead of just talking about her idea, she decided to show it. She created a demo, a simple working model of how Canva would function. It wasn't the full product, but it was enough for people to see and feel her vision. Then she used a smart strategy to get noticed. She found the email addresses of important tech investors and journalists in Silicon Valley. She sent them a warm, personal email and a link to her demo. Many of them ignored her, but a few were intrigued enough to click the link. This simple move changed everything. One of those who clicked was Bill Tai, a very known and respected investor. He was impressed by the demo and agreed to meet with Melanie. He became her advisor, giving her valuable guidance and, most importantly, introducing her to other influential people in the tech world, including a key engineer she needed to meet. This was the turning point. After more than 100 rejections, her determination and clever strategy finally paid off. She managed to raise the initial funding she needed to start building her dream for real. When Melanie started building Canva, the design software world was completely dominated by a giant, Adobe. Adobe was the undisputed king, with products like Photoshop and Illustrator that were used by every professional designer. They were a massive, billion-dollar company with decades of experience. Most people would look at a giant like Adobe and think there was no room for a new competitor. But Melanie saw it differently. She didn't see Adobe as an unbeatable monster. She saw it as a company that was ignoring millions of everyday people. While Adobe focused on making powerful tools for professionals, Canva focused on making simple tools for everyone. While Adobe's software was expensive and difficult to learn, Canva would be affordable and easy to use. Melanie wasn't trying to beat Adobe at its own game. She was creating a whole new game for a much bigger audience of non-designers. This was the historic clash, the professional, complex Adobe versus the friendly, simple Canva. Melanie's strategy was brilliant because it was so focused on a user that the big companies had forgotten. She knew that teachers, small business owners, students, and social media managers didn't need all the complicated features of professional software. They just wanted to make something that looked good quickly. Her platform, Canva, was built on this belief. It was all online, so there was nothing to download. It used a simple drag-and-drop system that anyone could understand in minutes, and it was filled with beautiful, ready-made templates, so you didn't have to start from a blank page. Adobe, on the other hand, stayed with what they knew. They continued to focus on complex tools for professionals. They didn't adapt quickly to this new, simpler way of designing that appealed to the masses. The result was stunning. Canva grew at an incredible speed. Within a few years, millions of people were using it. It became the go-to tool for anyone who wasn't a professional designer but still wanted to create great-looking visuals. Melanie Perkins, the student who was rejected over 100 times, had beaten the industry giants by understanding her customers better than anyone else. After its initial success, Canva's growth was explosive. Melanie was no longer just building a tool, she was building a global platform for creativity. The company expanded its offerings, adding features like video editing, a vast stock photo library, and tools for entire teams to work together. Canva's user base exploded from millions to over 100 million people across the globe. The company's value soared, making it one of the most valuable private software companies in the world, and making Melanie one of the world's youngest self-made female CEOs of a tech company. More than just a business success, Canva stayed true to its good guy image. The company kept a free version that was truly useful, and it donated millions of dollars in free product to nonprofit organizations. Melanie built a company culture known for being kind and inclusive, proving that you could be both successful and nice. Melanie Perkins' story is more than a business success. It's a lesson in pure determination. She was told no more times than most of us can imagine, but she never accepted it as a final answer. Every rejection just made her more creative in her approach. She proved that you don't need a fancy degree or a rich family to change the world. You need a great idea that solves a real problem, the courage to start, and the sheer will to keep going when everyone says you can't. You have the power to create something great, just like Melanie did. And that's the story of how Melanie Perkins turned her frustration with complicated software into a mission to make design easy for everyone. She didn't wait for permission. She saw a problem and built a solution. We hope you enjoyed this journey with us and learned something new about the power of a simple, clear vision. It's incredible to see how one person's determination can create a tool that helps over 100 million people. So let us know in the comments below about a problem you've noticed that you think needs a simple solution. As for Canva, the future is sure to bring even more ways for people to create and communicate. We can't wait to see what they do next. The story of Melanie Perkins truly shows that your current situation does not decide your future. She came from a place of constant rejection and built a company that changed how the world designs. Let this inspire you to look at the problems around you as opportunities, believe in your ideas, work hard, and never, ever take no as an answer. You have the power to create something great, just like Melanie did. Remember to subscribe to our channel if he can for more amazing stories of people who overcame the odds. Who knows, maybe one day we'll be telling your story. Let's make it happen together.